All right, so the third element in an advertisement is considered subtext. Now, unlike the text, which is the obvious things you see and hear in the actual message, subtext addresses possible meanings that a person can get from what you see and hear in a particular ad. In this, the text is a car that's crashed, impaired, yes, and indestructible, no. And if I didn't know anything else, I'd just say it's a car advertisement about whether or not a car can survive an accident. But upon further analysis, or if you're given the context, the subtext is impaired refers to drinking and driving. And if you're impaired, yes, indestructible, no, this is a picture of the car depicting when you're drinking, you might feel like you're indestructible, but you're not. And you are impaired, so this could happen. So that is subtext of the message that is being communicated beyond the actual what you see and you hear in the ad. Here's another more slightly graphic example of subtext. If I look at the text, be careful not to cut your stoma. Sean, diagnosed with 46. If I'm not looking at the bottom right away, the text of this message is, if you're shaving and you have the stoma, be careful not to cut it. But really what it's getting at, the subtext is, you will have a stoma or could have a stoma if you smoke. So you shouldn't smoke. And if you look closely down here, you see the actual text of the message helps clarify the subtext of the advertisement. So this is again really saying don't smoke. That's subtext though, because nowhere on there does it say do not smoke. You have to infer or you have to get from the words and the pictures what it's trying to tell you. Now this is the most graphic example of subtext, or at least in an advertisement, and it says actually doing meth won't make it easier to hook up. And you see a picture of the man who has some facial issues. And really, in this case, the text and the subtext match up. The text is this guy with the blisters and the words. And the subtext, the message is really, listen, if you use meth, it will cause health problems and, the opposite sex won't find you attractive. So that's an example of text or subtext and how they work together, where the previous picture was a little bit harder to tell. And that's why it's so important to look at both the text, what's actually happening in the advertisement, and in the subtext, which you can gather from what's happening, because that gives you the full message.